Hello and welcome to another episode of Salary Voodoo, the show right here on the MMA Engine channel where I, your host Monk, aka the Monkmatician, give you three different fights to look at from a different perspective for GPP tournaments specifically. We're going to be going over stats that no one has really ever seen that I put together as far as salary study. So guys, I mean, that's not a very good explanation, but let's get right into it. You can read through all this if you really want an explanation, but please be sure to comment the fight down below right now. Hit that comment. What do you want to see from a Salary Voodoo perspective? UFC Vegas 69 happening next week. I have no idea who the headliner is. I have no idea who's fighting at all. It's probably an absolutely abysmal Apex card, but we'll try to make it fun. Put your pick down below and we will dissect it from a Salary Voodoo perspective. Guys, last week, how did we do? We told you we got a Bernie on the Junyoung Park Dennis Tululin fight. We told you to play that fight. Junyoung Park made optimal lineup. We told you to play Jubli and Seregi. Jubli rolled and made the optimal lineup. We told you to fade Da Un Jung and Devin Clark, and somehow Devin Clark snuck his way onto the optimal lineup, scoring only 80 points, guys, at 7,500. So we went 2 of 3. Not a bad week. We seem to go 2 of 3, 3 of 4 every single week lately. In fact, I'm going to put the numbers together just so we can actually see how accurate Salary Voodoo is, guys. But without further ado, let's get right into the first fight, UFC 284. This one was picked by Tommy Touchy. Shout out to my guy Tommy. 8,400. Justin Tafa, 7,800. Parker Porter. Guys, we are not looking at fighters numbers here. We are looking at salary numbers. All these numbers are correlated with salary. Heavyweight fights make optimal lineup 52.63% of the time. Fight number 10 is a great fight to target. Someone from there makes optimal 54.76% of the time. I think that's like the second or third best number out of all fights. And the salary pair of 84 and 78, someone makes optimal almost 60% of the time, guys. We are under leveraged 7.29%. Get these guys in your lineups. Now, this is a very low level heavyweight fight, a perfect fight to target. Somebody's probably getting knocked out. Unfortunately, someone could just go to decision and score 80 points, but this is Salary Voodoo. We're not looking at all that. 23 times 8,400 has made optimal lineup out of 79 uses. That is a 29% optimal rate. 25 is good. 30 is great. So we're just under great. 51.9% win rate for 8,400. 56% of the time it does win. It makes optimal, which is a fantastic number for a favorite salary. Scores 93.66 points per win. 7,800, the dog salary of this pair, has made optimal one more time than the favorite salary, 24 times for an optimal rate of over 30%, almost 30.5, a fantastic percentage. 45% win rate, 66.67% of the time it wins. It makes optimal. 2 out of every 3 wins, it's on the optimal lineup. 95 points per win. What is there not to like about all of these numbers that I gave you? Both salaries have individual negative leverage, which is something you really want to see. Guys, come on. What are we doing here? This fight has Bernie written all over it from a Salary Voodoo perspective. I love this fight. 84 and 78 is a great salary to target. The salary score of 8,400 is 7.14. That is 9th best overall salary. The dog salary of 78, 6.99. Salary score 7th best overall. 2 salaries that are in the top 10. You got to target this fight. 8,400 and 7,800. Justin Tafa against Parker Porter. Next fight, picked by AJ Philbrick, my guy AJ, in the comments every single week. I appreciate it more than you know. 9,200 going against $7,000. We've got Jack Della Maddalena and Randy Brown. Welterweights make optimal lineup. Ooh, the opposite of heavyweights, 44.26%. Not a good rate. Fight number 11 is an even 50-50 as far as making optimal. And the salary pair of 92 and 7,000 is just 41.79%. On optimal lineup. That is terrible. A terrible number. Both salaries. This is incredible. Both salaries they fought each other 67 times. They've each made optimal lineup 14 times. 9,200 and 7,000. This is one of the lowest dog salaries and one of the highest favorite salaries, and they make optimal the same amount of times, you guys. That is a 21% optimal rate. Not good. Like I said, you want it to be at 25. Win rate for 9,200 is 70. compared to 28.5 for the $7,000 salary. Optimal in wins. When 9,200 wins, it makes optimal only 30% of the time. But when $7,000 wins, it makes optimal 73.5% of the time. That is a huge number. 95.68 points compared to 93 per win. Guys, some of these numbers are bad. I love the optimal in wins from the $7,000 salary. But man, my guy Jack Della Maddalena has got some overcoming to do if he wants to make optimal lineup. What do we think about this fight? Are we going to get a Bernie? Are we going to get a Frozen Jack? What is the salary voodoo for 9,200 and 7,000? We've got ourselves a Frozen Jack. I'm sorry, AJ, it's just not going to do it. I love the Jack Della Maddalena side. I'll have a ton of him rostered, but that's not what this show is about. This is Salary Voodoo, and the salary score of 9,200 is just 9.57, the 17th lowest. Sorry, 17th highest overall, so under the halfway point, under average. And 7,000 is just below that, 9.67, 18th overall. So we've got the 17th and the 18th best salaries here out of 30, 31, 32 salaries. Not a very good number. So this is going to be a Frozen Jack just barely. Third fight, we've got the co-main event picked by Guy Dressed Like a Hot Dog. Thank you, Guy Dressed Like a Hot Dog. $8,500 for Yair Rodriguez, $7,700 for Josh Emmett. What a fight this is to target from a salary voodoo perspective. It's incredible. 55, almost 56% of the time featherweights fight, someone makes optimal. This is another even 50-50 fight for number 12, and the salary pair of 85 and 77 makes optimal almost 59% of the time. We're under-owned to this salary pair by 7%. They fought each other 83 times. Salary of 8,500 has made optimal 20 of those times for a 24.1% optimal rate, just under ideal of 25. Win rate of 48.14 or 48.19%. Optimal when it wins, it makes optimal 50% of the time, 98 points per win on average. So not bad numbers from 8,500, just not great, especially when you're talking about a favorite salary. Now the dog salary. If you watch this show, you know $7,700 is the magic salary. It's made optimal lineup more than any other salary. It's tied with 8,600 29 times out of 83 tries. That is a 35% optimal rate, out of this world. I said 30% was fantastic. We're at 35 here. A win rate of 50.5% for a dog salary. And when it does win, it makes optimal 69% of the time. Average points per win, 99. What is there not to like, again, about the $7,700 salary, guys? We've got ourselves a Bernie, Guy Dressed Like a Hot Dog. 8.23 salary score for 8,500. That is 13th best, above average. 7,700 for Josh Emmett. 6.29 salary score. That is the third best salary to target overall. I mean, if the underdog can pull off a win here, it could be from a KO or getting a couple of knockdowns from a guy like Josh Emmett. At $7,700, that's going to pay extremely well. I will be targeting this fight. Maybe not as much as I should, but Salary Voodoo is definitely upping my exposure here because the dog salary and the favorite salary, for that matter, are two pretty decent salaries to target. Give us a Bernie on this one, guys. Usually that's where this video would end, but you know how we do for pay-per-views. We got ourselves a bonus fight. And it's picked by my guy, the Green Reaper. Shout out Green Reaper. It is the main event of the evening, guys. We just broke down the last four fights of the card. No big deal. 9,500 for Makhachev. 6,700 for my guy Volkanovski. These numbers are insane. Lightweights make optimal lineup 51% of the time. Another 50-50 fight, guys. The 13th, 12th, and 11th fights of the night all have an optimal rate of 50% as of the recording of this show. Insane. The salary pair of 95 and 67 is also 50% optimal, which is very good. And we are under leveraged by about 0.5% to that number. The $9,500 salary, I mean, let's just get into it. It's the best salary to play overall. 36 times it's been used, made optimal 17 of those times for an optimal rate of 47.22%. That is the best number out of all salaries. Has a win rate of 91.67%. Again, the best number out of all salaries. And when it does win, optimal lineup 51.5% of the time. That is an extremely high number for such a high salary. A very high salary should not have an optimal rate in wins this high, yet it does. Average points per win, 110.01. Just these numbers are off the chain, as they used to say, like, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago, which is where my brain is stuck. $6,700 has been used 36 times, only made optimal once. One time, guys. 2.78% optimal rate. That's it. Has a 5.5% win rate. When it does win, 50% optimal in wins. That's what, 1 out of 2 wins. It was optimal. 91 points per win. Long story short, there's nothing to like about the $6,700 salary. It's pretty much the worst salary you can play, going up against the best salary you can play. Unfortunately, for Salary Voodoo, it's going to be a Bernie, because look at the salary scores here, guys. 9,500 is the best, 5.15 score. I mean, nothing to hate about it. But the $6,700 salary is so bad, it drags this from a clear Bernie into a frozen jack. It has a salary score of 56. That is the 30th best salary, aka the worst salary you could possibly play. When you put them together, it falls below average of all fights, so that's why it's getting a frozen jack. That said, I might be eating my words on this one, because I think Makhachev can win this. I think he can win it big, and actually I think with either guy, a win lands them on the optimal lineup. So I don't like to do this, but I'm personally going against Salary Voodoo, and I will be playing close to 100% of this fight. But the numbers here, the $6,700 salary drags this salary down so much that it gives it a frozen jack. But I will be playing it. Let's do a recap. We've got Tafa and Parker Porter, 8,400, 7,800. That is a Bernie. Target that fight. We've got 9,200 and 7K. JDM and Randy Brown. That is a frozen jack. We've got another Bernie, 8,577 between Rodriguez and Emmett. And then in the main event of the evening, we've got a frozen jack between Volkanovski and Islam Makhachev. But I will be playing the shit out of that fight, quite personally. Guys, that's going to do it. That is Salary Voodoo for UFC 284. I really appreciate you joining me. Hit the like on this video. Hit the sub on the MMA Engine channel. It's me, Weezy, Brady, and Lou Betya, bringing you content every single day, several days a week, before each and every UFC card. So guys, thank you again for joining me. As usual, I hope all of you enjoy the fight. So enjoy, and we will see you in the next one.